Good morning, everyone. My name is Katrina from Tenaganita, and I'll be speaking on behalf of our Executive Director, Irene Fernandez, who is unfortunately out of the country on work. So I seek your indulgence and the indulgence of the moderator because I am here to read out a prepared statement. The indigenous people of Sarawak have been fighting a steep uphill battle to secure their native customary land rights during the tenure of Abdul Tahir Mahmud's 31-year rule as Chief Minister of Sarawak. The resistance is in various forms, now intensified by the various tribal communities. However, this resistance has been met with violence and court battles, so much so that not only is land being plundered, but lives and livelihoods are destroyed, while the Chief Minister, his family, and his cronies, as seen in the Global Witness report, are, allegedly, raking millions, if not billions, of ringgit through immoral land deals, logging concessions, and the plantations. On March 15, 2013, an elderly Iban man, Surik Anak Muntai, a courageous crusader for land rights in Melikin, Sarawak, was stabbed and viciously attacked and seriously injured, allegedly by an executive of an oil palm plantation. This incident is a clear sign of how indigenous communities are at risk in defending their land rights. Their struggle has been brought to the courts, where there are currently more than 300 cases waiting decisions. Certain courts have recently ruled to protect the NCR rights of the communities concerned, based on the protections afforded to native customary rights in Section 161A of the Federal Constitution. But these communities have very often failed to obtain a remedy or are being dragged into appeals to higher courts that they can ill afford. I think the obnoxious statement by the lawyer that many natives cannot afford lawyers or do not know how to approach the courts and the barriers that exist is a clear sign that the people in power know that they can exploit the indigenous people of Sarawak. The investigations carried out by Global Witness and its subsequent report serves to highlight once again the struggles faced by the natives of Sarawak in defending their land rights. It must be stressed that the loss of NCR land, their livelihoods and lives is a consequence of lack of governance entwined with shady backdoor deals. It is obvious from the report that the state government of Sarawak is able to continue its blatant violations of rights and destruction of our rainforests and the environment with the support of the BN federal government. Each and every land we have identified by the companies owned and controlled by the Chief Minister Taib represents poverty and misery for the native peoples who once lived off these areas and who are the rightful owners through the established native customary rights. The people have found that their forests, which provided them with food and shelter, have been taken and that wealth has gone elsewhere. Taib, on the other hand, has a very good record at fulfilling his promises and bringing vast wealth and development to a very small number of people. As seen in this report, these are the members of his own family and his tiny circle of rich business partners. The Global Witness report needs urgent and serious actions by the federal government and the parliament to arrest the problem and to arrive at the truth with the goals of protecting native customary land rights and putting together governance mechanisms for accountability. How far we can achieve that in the current administration is up for question. And I'm sure Dr. Irene will also support Abu's claims that the people of Malaysia also need to stand up and take actions into our own hands. Tenaganita is indeed glad that the Norwegian government pension fund has made a decision recently to withdraw investments from the palm oil companies, as it is deemed that the palm oil companies, though many were active members of the Roundtable of Sustainable Palm Oil, RSPO, were not practicing sustainable principles. Norway's $710 billion fund reported in its 2012 annual report that pulled out of 23 palm oil companies in Asia because their long-term business model was deemed unsustainable. We therefore call on members of the RSPO in particular buyers, retailers, consumers, banks, and others, to stop buying or using palm oil from the rogue companies in Sarawak in light of various reports, as well as this Global Witness report, because violations of rights of communities and continued destruction of our rainforests clearly reflect deeply immoral, and unsustainable practices. Tenaganita therefore fully endorses the recommendations of the Global Witness report. Thorough and independent investigations into the corruption allegations of the Sarawak executive and government institutions must be carried out immediately, and those found to be corrupt must be prosecuted without delay. Lives and livelihoods are being destroyed. Our rights are being trampled on. Only 5% of the rainforest in Sarawak remains untouched, and billions of ringgit belonging to the people of Malaysia is being pillaged. Nothing short of urgent and transparent action by the government and other parties called upon in this report is acceptable. If there are follow-up questions, you may contact Dr. Irene via email. Thank you.